So, I was going to make a well-formatted review for this movie, but then I watched the movie again and realized that Cap probably didn't even do a second draft, so fuck it, we'll put in the same effort here. Jurassic World Rebirth was a movie. I've spent pretty much a month mulling it over and going over my notes. I released a little video going over me being annoyed over them still pushing the people are bored with dinosaurs bullshit, which, dear God, Universal, nobody buys. Please just drop it. Instead of talking scene by scene, I'm going to rant because I want to save a full breakdown for down the line after I've covered the other movies. I came to this decision after I'd made my last video, so I apologize for people who were hoping for a really long breakdown. I will agree with many that are angry about Universal killing off all the dinosaurs outside of the equator. I don't like the decision. I was simply saying that it is unfortunately a more interesting position to go with than people are bored with dinosaurs. I'm sorry, only one of those things is actually a possibility, and I will fight anybody on that. I do agree that this does clash with the underlying theme of life finds a way, but in reality, it doesn't, because it's not the breeding that is the point in this scenario from the first movie or the book. The whole point of the message is that nature is in control, not man. Nature, or the natural order, is in control of whether animals go extinct on the planet, not humans. So humans bringing back dinosaurs for them to spread and wreak havoc only for the ones not suitable to the modern Earth to slowly dwindle off is very in line with this overarching message. Nature chooses who dies and who thrives.
And nature selected them for extinction.
The main issue is that this is a blatant retcon, and Kep is famously quoted having said one of his main sentiments going in was that he wasn't going to retcon any of the previous movies.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
While InGen's dinosaurs were created with reptile DNA, there are many dinosaurs across the globe that were bred by other companies who may have changed the DNA to create dinosaurs that either are cold resistant or are just dinosaurs that were adapted for colder climates to begin with. I hadn't taken into full account all of the other people who had their hands on the DNA, which is funny because it just adds another plot hole when they could have just grown a new Quetzal, Moza, or Titana in a secure location. But then we wouldn't have a movie, of course. While these characters in Rebirth are a step up from pretty much every Jurassic World character, they're still not that great.
I have some weed. Might be a little damp, but
Zora, played by Scarlett Johansson, was kind of funny in this, and I don't know if the film meant for her to be.
Your company wants all the money.
Why are you saying my company's evil plans in front of everybody, bro?
Because clearly she's the replacement for Chris Pratt. There were a couple of moments where I laughed intentionally. I'm kind of leaning towards disliking her acting on reflection and more rewatches. In the scene earlier between her and Kincaid, there was a small glimmer of character arcs beginning, which Kincaid does get more development in that category, but not much, and there being zero context on how he lost his kid really knocked it down a peg for me. Add that to the pile. I'm getting off track. The acting in this scene looks like Scarlett is trying to fight back laughter between the lines. It's not great, and it did not endear me to her character, which leads me to Kincaid, played by Marsha Ali, who probably would have been my favorite character if he had actually died at the end of the movie. I found out there was a version of the movie where he did, but they said test screen audiences preferred it when he lived. I would love to have seen the receipts for those numbers, Universal. The T-Rex was screaming right in his face. I like Marsha Ali, and his character in this movie is likable, but he should be dead. Also, the dead son arc needs more time to cook. Like, seriously. I get it is why he feels so overprotective of Isabella, but I don't really have any context on why his son died, so it just feels hollow. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey, the new guy Hollywood is trying to shove down our throats. I was going in expecting him to be the character I disliked the most, mainly because of the iffy acting I saw in the trailers. They try to inject humor into many of his scenes, but it just kind of falls flat for me. His character wasn't horrible, just very one note, simplistic. There was no challenging of his beliefs or any arc for Henry. He is still the same altruistic dino nut hero the whole movie. I laughed at more things Scarlett said than him, and I don't think that's supposed to be the case since Henry is meant to be the fish out of water character in this scenario. And now we get to who I wish wasn't in this movie, the family. The dad was okay, but the rest of them were forgettable, especially Xavier. I'm sorry, but his character did not work for me. The deathbed joke was okay. It was the one joke that the theater got loud over. His character starts off lazy, selfish, starts having a full-blown panic attack when the Spinos and Moza attack. Then he suddenly becomes a brave hero diving in to save his girlfriend. Then goes right back to being like, oh my god, no, this place is gonna be our deathbed. Just like those old people looking at those mattresses at the mattress store, am I right, guys? Hey. His character does nothing at the rest of the movie except literally piss on the fans while the Mutodon is in the background pissing on the Velociraptor. I'm still heated about that scene. The bad guy's name is literally Martin Krebs. Martin Krebs.
Money!
Which couldn't be more on the nose. Despite the cringy name, the actor playing him is Rupert Friends, who I do actually want to shout out because I've been a fan of his since the death of Stalin, and I like seeing talented actors getting paychecks.
How old are you? I'm old. You're not old! You're not even a person! You're a testicle!
His character here could have been more sympathetic if his character was forced to choose between saving the briefcase and saving Teresa or someone else, and he chooses the briefcase. To us and the other characters, that choice would be evil, but at least if you added in that a family member of his died of heart disease to add a personal stake, it would at least make more sense. What Rupert's company is trying to achieve isn't what's under scrutiny here, it's the way he is going about it that is the problem. But one of the big fundamental messages of the main story is man's inherent need to manipulate nature always backfires. In the original movie, the genetic engineering itself is being criticized, while in this movie, the genetic engineering itself isn't treated as the problem. It's meant to be the solution. The problem in this movie is the monopolization of the pharmaceutical industry, instead of man playing God coming back to bite him in the ass. Which, if this story was written by Michael Crichton himself, that definitely wouldn't be the case, and if it was, I imagine that the cure that they're about to make would probably end up having devastatingly unintended consequences, which is meant to be one of the main underlying themes of these movies. If Rupert's whole motivation is just, if I get my company exclusive rights over this heart drug, then I'll be rewarded handsomely, which would be incredibly one-note and shallow as fuck, that's a disappointment because you had a decent actor and you had a kernel of a good idea here. You have a noble mission for this company to be going on. Why make the issue about monopoly when you could make the issue with Krebs be one of needs of the many versus the needs of the few? He has a gun at the end of the movie, and instead of killing the whole group, he tells them they're all going to leave together, which is actually pretty reasonable, and there isn't any real conflict added there to explore the overall message anymore, or at least the message I think there is, and that right there is one of the many problems with this movie. What is the message? You gave Zora a mother dead from heart disease, but that doesn't factor into her reason for helping at all. It's not until they get on the boat, having already escaped the D-Rex, that she finally agrees with Henry about releasing the formula to the world. And that choice was kind of already made for her once Rupert got bitten in half. I actually like the Moses scene to an extent. This scene also has the best music of the whole movie. The fact that the Moses doesn't try and take out the boat besides a whale jump for some waves is a bit of a problem for me, seeing as it was scraping boats before and after this scene. Zora hanging over the edge with the Moses eye looking at her through the reflection was a pretty cool shot. After they get the Moses sample, they suddenly stop the boat and the Moses just chills for a bit. I get it's supposed to be working with the Spinos, but it doesn't attempt to capsize the boat knowing there are little people on it to eat. It was just staring down Zora over the front of the boat earlier trying to bite her. It knows they are there. The raft scene was very fast-paced, but when you watch it back and you see a T-Rex, the animal with the most powerful bite force of any known land animal ever, pick up a raft in its mouth, chew it like a chew toy, spit it back out, all in one piece, I just want to die inside. Dear God, please just kill me now. I'm actively trying to stop thinking about the fact that the Rex just ignored the big-ass raft being inflated right in front of it as it got up to go get a drink in the opposite direction, despite sleeping right in front of the riverbank. You can't make this shit up. The Quetz scene was okay-ish, but the Quetz could have eaten them both from the moment he came into the nest. Leclerc throws a hammer at its head and it hunts him down, but it won't hunt down the two people physically at its nest? Okay. Henry should not have survived the fall from the cave into that little river. Where he landed was too close to the edge of the river, he would have surely broken something, especially with all the momentum he gained between the cave and the tree branches. Now to address the big-ass mutated elephant in the room, the mutants were thankfully barely in this movie, but when they were awful. Yeah, the Mutadons don't get a single kill except for the Velociraptor. The D-Rex kills the main bad guy and the red shirts in the helicopter. Speaking of which, why did you have the D-Rex destroy the helicopter when you had the Mutadons, which, you know, can fly? If you're gonna push these made-up things, at least make them a force to be reckoned with. I wasn't scared for the characters once when they were being chased by these things. I actually am going to defend an earlier moment in this movie for a brief second, but at least the Spinos earlier felt like a threat. They killed two people on the team in quick succession. Granted, they all did stand around on the beach bitching about how Rupert was holding back information right after, so that quickly ruins a positive element I was bringing up.
Madness and stupidity.
This franchise needs to go back to its horror roots. I'm not talking about a few very dark scenes. Actually make these animals scary. Show the horror that these animals inflict. Sadly, that'll never happen as long as Universal and Spielberg are still at the helm. My ranking may change after I've done my retrospectives on the movies, but as of right now, my rankings sit here currently. While in reality, I would rather rewatch Dominion because at least the original cast are in it, Fallen Kingdom did set up a great premise, and Dominion had the gall to laugh in our face over wanting to see that premise play out. And before you even say it, I know Rebirth literally killed that premise, but it didn't. There are still dinosaurs all over the equator. I guess none of those other companies altered their DNA enough to help them survive colder temperatures. Whoops. This series desperately needs a hard reboot, and I mean desperately. I want to see another good Jurassic Park movie, but it seems like it may have just been lightning in a bottle. That you really only could capture once when you introduce a new technology to the world, in an awe-inspiring way like Jurassic Park did all those years ago.
The special effects are such that they never really feel like special effects. They feel like dinosaurs.
Was it quite moving to see?
As of me recording this, Jurassic World Rebirth is currently almost at 800 million worldwide, so it is most likely getting another sequel, so I hope the sequel's better? Like, it's sad because when I first watched this movie, I really wanted to put it above Jurassic World because, I thought it was a better direction. But, honestly, on reflection, I still put it below Jurassic World, and I don't like Jurassic World. That's the end of my review for now. I really wanted to do a full breakdown. I really did at first, but I realized pretty quickly that was going to take me months to do, just like my Jurassic Park retrospective, and I've decided to not do that for now, as I'm still currently working on my video on the Lost World Jurassic Park. I want to do my retrospectives in order, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm Riff, and I hope this franchise gets back on track, or if it doesn't, I'll still be here to riff on it.
The movie really is what I call science eventuality.
Mr. Richard, this is the first time you've been back on screen since '79. What was it about this particular role which kind of tempted you back?
Oh, it wasn't the role, it was Steve Spielberg.
I mean, to think that they were around here, they were so big, and it's startling.
Would you like to meet one?
Met one?